Bruce Lee, then Jean-Claude Van Damme, and then who? After Jean-Claude Van Damme, who is the next? Nobody.
In 1973, Enter the Dragon changed cinema forever, but the world was robbed of its true masterpiece. There was a centerpiece, an epic clash designed to show the world the ultimate evolution of combat. It wasn't the Hall of Mirrors, it wasn't the final battle with Han. It was the showdown between the dragon and the beast. Warner Brothers made the executive call to cut it. They claimed it slowed down the narrative, but those on set, the stuntmen, the legends, the eyewitnesses, they knew the truth. The tension between Bruce Lee and Bolo Yeung wasn't just acting. It was a collision of two opposing combat philosophies that had been building for weeks. Today, we're declassifying the fight the world was never meant to see. To understand why this fight was inevitable, you have to look at the engineering of the men involved. On one side, you had Bruce Lee, 141 pounds of optimized lightning. Bruce didn't train for vanity. Every ounce of his frame was tuned for functional efficiency. He was a combat scientist who believed that traditional forms were a cage. He had stripped away the useless to become the fastest human weapon on the planet. On the other side stood Bolo Yeung, 154 pounds of sheer granite, a 10-time Mr. Hong Kong champion who didn't just represent Kung Fu, he represented massive, overwhelming force. Bolo was a powerhouse who believed that if he caught you once, the fight was over. It was the ultimate test of the alpha hierarchy. Can surgical speed and precision dismantle absolute raw strength? The set of Enter the Dragon was a pressure cooker of elite talent. You had legends in the making like Jim Kelly and Bob Wall, and two young stuntmen who would later change the world, Sammo and Jackie Chan. They watched as Bruce meticulously choreographed every frame of the film. But during the final week of production, the studio pulled the plug on Bolo's big moment. His role was being reduced, and the atmosphere shifted instantly. Respect turned into a challenge. Bolo, the decade-long champion of bodybuilding, wanted to know if the little dragon actually had the power to back up his philosophy. The challenge wasn't just about a movie scene anymore. It was about who was the real boss on that set. Bolo threw the challenge. Bruce didn't blink. No cameras were rolling, no pads were worn, there was no script to follow. This was a raw, declassified encounter. In the first 3 minutes, Bruce treated Bolo like a tactical puzzle. He used the Jeet Kune Do intercepting fist to stop Bolo from ever closing the gap. Every time Bolo tried to use his massive frame to bulldoze forward, he met a lead leg sidekick that stopped his momentum cold. Bruce was managing the distance with surgical precision, refusing to let the big boy use his weight. By the 6-minute mark, the physics of mass began to fail. Muscle requires oxygen, and massive muscle requires a GOT level of cardiovascular output. Bolo was redlining. His movements became telegraphed, slow, wide, and heavy. Bruce saw the fatigue. He didn't just win, he began to dismantle. He increased the tempo until Bolo's defense completely disintegrated under the pressure of relentless high-speed combinations. After 10 minutes of high-intensity combat, Bolo Yeung conceded. He was physically spent, gasping for air, while Bruce looked like he was just finishing a warm-up. This match was the ultimate validation of the JKD blueprint. Adaptability will always beat rigidity. Functional speed will always dismantle raw mass if the fight goes past the first exchange. Bolo walked away with a new respect for the little dragon. He realized that in a real fight, being the big boy doesn't matter if you can't hit what you can't see. For Bruce, it was just another day of proving that greatness isn't a fluke, it's engineered through discipline and science. If you're a true Bruce Lee fan, you know that the deleted scenes of his life are where the real lessons are hidden. History remembers the legends, but we deconstruct the blueprint. If you want to see the technical breakdown of how Bruce silenced critics like Michael Jai White, you need to see our deep dive on his technical evolution. I've linked that breakdown right here in the video. Click it now to see the strikes the movies never showed you. Because here at Mr. GOATofficials, greatness isn't random, it's engineered. We'll see you in the next one.